Hey guys, welcome back. Eagle Express, Andre. Today I wanted to answer a question that a lot of people are mistaking and buying the wrong kind of van because they think that cargo space and wheelbase length is the same exact thing, and it's definitely two different things. I'll explain what each one of them mean. So when you're looking at wheelbase, basically when you're looking at a van that's for sale and you want to buy something new, you're looking at a wheelbase. That's what they advertise it as, the wheelbase length. So you could have a 170 Sprinter. Let's talk about the 170 Sprinter and I'll explain. Basically, when you're looking at cargo wheelbase length versus cargo length you have to measure yourself inside the van. So you have to take a tape measure it, and that's how you get the cargo length. But when you're looking at wheelbase, what wheelbase means is, I'll find some things maybe and I'll measure it out. Wheelbase means the center of the front wheel, and you take a tape measure and you measure to the center of the rear wheel, and that is your wheelbase length. So a 170 Sprinter, which this is a 170 but extended. Also on this model, the way you know that it's extended is after this window you still get another foot here, and this turns into a 192 4-pallet van. If behind the little window area right here you don't have this extra space right here on a 170 wheelbase, that means it's just a regular 170. It's not an extended. This one is actually extended. But let's measure my wheelbase and I'll tell you guys so you guys can see. Today I'm in the beautiful state of Montana. Look at this fall weather. Just absolutely beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So to give you a quick glimpse of what it is, I found a couple of things on the side of the road. A straw will be like the middle of that wheel. Then this stick is going to be from the middle of this wheel. So here we are measuring with a tape measure. Here's your wheelbase. Center of the front wheel to the center of the back wheel. Here we go, here we go, here we go. 170, look at that. You see where the straw is? You see where that is? There's your 170. So the Sprinter 170 wheelbase does not mean that the cargo space is 170. In a 170 wheelbase Sprinter, the actual cargo space length is if you don't have a bulkhead, meaning you don't have a divider in between. And if you do take that divider out, throw it away, it takes up extra inches of space that you do not, you are valuable and you do need. Throw that out, and you're gonna have, in a 170 Sprinter, you're gonna have 180 inches of cargo space inside. Mine's a 170 extended, and the extended is right there. Basically, so you guys know, on a Sprinter, if it's a 170 wheelbase, after the window ends, here's where the window ends, there's still another foot right here in between. From here to here is another foot there. So this is a 170 extended. That's the way to know that it's an extended. If you guys are looking at a picture of the van, make sure there's still a space from this window to here. And that's going to be the 170 extended. What that means is I have 192 inches of cargo space inside. I'll go show and prove it to you. I have freight on board, but don't mind that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in here. I'm going to push I actually have a magnetic tape measure. Move my fishing box. I'm going to push my tape measure into the seat. There's a metal seat over here. Push it into that. That's where the beginning of my cargo space length is. Basically, from the seats to the back doors is what you guys want to measure. That's the correct way to measure cargo space length. I'll show you. Okay, so the tape measure is touching the bracket of the seat. That's what you can push the freight into, into the seat. And then you go in here, and here's your 192. The reason why it's 192 is this ends right here. So it's actually just a little more, like 194 or whatnot, but you see where the door closes? After the floor, there's still another like 2 inches here. So there's definitely just a bit more than even 192, but I consider just 192 just to be safe. So even if the freight is 193, I can still fit a 193 piece or whatever, you know, a couple pieces, just that way it comes out that. So don't believe, and don't think, and don't assume without actually measuring the cargo space length inside your van. You guys always need to take a tape measure. If you do not know what's going on with it, dealer tells you one thing, or private party somewhere, it could be out of state, out of the city, could be for sale, and it's showing some kind of a wheelbase length. You do not know the actual cargo space length inside the van. Our company only works with extended and high roof vans, and our bare minimum is 144-inch cargo space length. 144 will get you 3 pallets. 3 standard size pallets will fit inside that van. That's our bare minimum standard. We don't take any vans shorter than 144-inch cargo space length. So guys, stop making mistakes. Stop buying the wrong van. If you don't know what you're doing, take your tape measure with you. Go measure inside, and that way you're not making mistakes of wheelbase versus cargo space length. So it's really easy, real simple. Just because the wheelbase is 170 doesn't mean you fit a 170 cargo space length, because how can you fit cargo space when they have seats starting at right here and all this is occupied? Same thing after the wheel, you see that? There's still room for another pallet here. So you always want to do the right on your end, do everything right, measure the actual cargo space, make sure whoever you're signing on with, if it's whatever company you're going to be working with, find out what their minimum cargo space length is. Make sure you qualify with that company, that way you don't assume things and, you know, buy a van and then start hunting for who's going to hire you, because there are, you know, certain companies have certain requirements for things. So you don't want to make a mistake of buying a van that doesn't qualify with a certain company that you want to work with, and then you're mad or, you know, discouraged, or, you know, whatever the case may be. I've even had people buy the wrong van, and then luckily we're able to exchange it with the dealer and get the right kind and an extended one, because they had them. Some weren't so lucky because they bought them for private parties, and they're like, well, now I'm stuck with this one, and I'm stuck with a dually and everything else. So don't buy a dually van either. Dually means there will be 2 wheels back here. No, 2 wheels, so this wheel well is going to be a little sticking out a little more in. Same thing with the other one. It's going to stick out inwards a little more. And basically what that's going to do is that's going to create you like 42 inches of width inside, and the pallets don't even fit in the van. So do not buy dually vans if you're doing expediting. Make sure it's 1 wheel in the back, not 2 wheels. Dually means 2 wheels in the back. Do not get a dually van. I know ProMasters, they don't even make it, but the Ford Transit and the Sprinter, they do make the dually vans, so don't buy a dually. Hopefully that explains it to you guys. You guys got knowledge now, and, you know, don't make mistakes. Make sure you do your part on your end as a driver, as, you know, an owner operator. Make sure you do your homework, buy the right van, buy the longest and the tallest. You'll never regret it, just because you're going to be living in it for weeks at a time while you're on the road, and you need all the space you can get for a bed and everything else, you know, like bed and all your belongings. And then you'll have clothes, and you'll have toolboxes, and you'll have maybe fishing gear and clothes and chairs, and maybe a bicycle or scooter, whatever else you bring along with you, not to be bored in your downtime or in your time during your time off. So God bless you guys. Take care. Hopefully this answers your question. If it doesn't, go ahead and leave some comments in the comments section. I always read them. I always enjoy reading your comments, good or bad, it doesn't matter. And we'll see each other next time when we see each other. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, you're welcome to do so. It's free.